أعمالي اللي في البداية كانت أغلبها أحداث شخصية، يعني أغلبها غير سعيدة، كنت أعبر عنها بالقلم. كانت عبارة عن حالة استشفاء غالباً، إنه قاعد أحاول أطلع الأشياء الموجودة بالداخل عن طريق القلم. ممكن هذه أول مرة أتعامل مع الفن بجدية، يعني أو ما كنت مستوعب أصلاً إنه أنا قاعد أتعامل مع الفن. فبعدها بكم شهر أو من كثرة ما الناس بيقولوا لي أوه هذا شيء كويس، استوعبت إنه أيوه هذا شيء فعلاً كويس. فألهمني إنه أشوف كيف إحنا كبشر بنتعامل مع مكان واحد بشعورين متضادة جداً، خصوصاً الأماكن اللي ما عادت موجودة، زي الأحياء القديمة في بعض المدن الكبيرة، زي الأماكن اللي مثلاً كنا نعملها بطريقة بعدين تغير تعاملنا تجاهها. يعني نويت إنه أبدأ حركة توثيق. أتمنى إنه اللي يشوف العمل يستوعب قد إيش إحنا مكونين من المدينة اللي إحنا عايشين فيها والمكان اللي إحنا ترعرعنا فيه. هذا الشعور الأساسي، زائد إنه يهتم أكثر بالتوثيق، مو بس كصورة، كإحساس وكقصة، إنه ليش أنا حسيت بهذا المكان، وهذا اللي أبغى أسويه في البلاتفورم.
So since I was a kid, I kind of always been doing awkward and weird things. And then growing up, I realized this magic field called visual arts. And so all of these things that I was doing as a kid somehow were matching the standards of what a piece of art can be. And it was no longer me as a kid doing something funny, but maybe me as a kid trying to communicate something in an unusual way. There are 3 layers in this project, and the first one, of course, is my own personal experience. Then the second one is how my personal experience is relatable from other people. And then the third one is something I'm not in control of, because when you make an artwork and it's out there, everyone can drag something from it. So that's the participation part of the project, that it's not really on me, it's on the public. Vulnerability, forms of violence, and forms of defense. Then the way these 3 topics can suggest or evoke or stimulate emotions, feeling, thoughts, that's something that we will discover together during the Miss Art Week.
في مشروعي الحالي في الإقامة دائماً أفكر عن الذاكرة الجسدية، وكيف لما الذاكرة تبدأ تتلاشى من العقل، إيش اللي يبقى في جسم الإنسان؟ هل الذاكرة الجسدية لها قوة كبيرة إحنا ما نعرفها أو ما نستوعبها إلا لما إحنا نبدأ نمارسها في طريقة معينة؟ أنا دائماً مهتمة بالذاكرة الجسدية، لأني شفت قدامي شخص جداً عزيز على قلبي، بس كان ذاكرته بدأت تتلاشى، فذاكرة الجسد كانت لسه موجودة. وهذا الشيء خلاني أفكر أكثر بأن كيف أقدر أوصل هذه الفكرة حق ذاكرة الجسد للناس. طبعاً هو كان مريض بألزهايمرز، فأكيد أن هذا المرض يبدأ من البحث اللي أنا بحثته في هذه الفترة، ومن البحث اللي أنا رأيته أيضاً قدام عيوني في stages كثيرة في ألزهايمرز. في المرحلة الوسطى يبدأ المريض بأنه ما يتذكر الأسماء وما يتذكر الأشياء من حوله، بس يبدأ يتذكر الأشياء اللي موجودة في الجسد نفسه. فتكون في أشياء قليلة وصغيرة الواحد ممكن يسويها، بس تكون لها معاني كبيرة عند هذا الشخص. فأنا ودي أعرف هذه المعاني اللي جوا الجسد كيف أقدر أفهمها بطريقة أو بأخرى. أنا ما راح أقدر أفهم هذه المعاني أكيد، ولا أحد يقدر يفهم إيش في جسد كل شخص، بس في نهاية الموضوع أنا أتمنى أني أكون قادرة أني أستوعب هذه الذاكرة الجسدية كيف ممكن تقدر تأثر على الناس من حولنا، أو كيف ممكن أنها تأثر علينا إحنا كمان.
War changed a lot of things. So my personality, very introverted, was even more isolated by the war. I couldn't really communicate with my best friend, etc. So I started drawing, and drawing was a way for me to a little bit escape of the reality. And then after that, we moved to Italy, and I discovered the beauty of Renaissance art in Rome, where I studied, and that's when I really fell in love with painting, oil painting, sculpture. I did my study there, and my career started, let's say, in a very academic way, and I'm very honored to be a resident at the Minsk Art Institute for Masaha Cycle 10. Is really to I'm developing a protocol working with AI in collaboration with AI to explore the interdependence that there is between humans and machines, and how to communicate, how to understand to each other. What I'm doing now, it's creating a protocol that allows me to research what is the geometry and the secret math that is behind the 99 names of God. And in a way, it's a kind of, I see this as a research between truth, perception, and memory. And it's a little bit on the theme of the residency here.
I started drawing when I was a child. And that was something I really love to do. And after then, later, I get into the photography and the video because I enjoy observing the people and the world around me. So art becoming a thing for me to understand the world and the things. My project called Silent Summer. I reimagined a traditional Saudi performance through sign language. It's about how the body can speak when the words not enough. I hope they can feel both beauty and the struggle of communication, how the language can connect us and also limit us. Even in silence, the body continues to speak. The communication is not about the words, it's also about the presence and share the desire to understand one another.
اللي ألهمني إني أدخل العالم الفني هو لأن الفن يجمع من مواضيع كثير أنا أهتم فيها وحريصة عليها، زي البحث والكتابة والتعبير الشكلي والبصري. وكمان هو طريقة فعالة جداً إني أشارك المواضيع اللي أنا أحب أتعمق فيها مع الناس. أنا التحول بالنسبة لي موضوع مهم في أعمالي، فالمشروع اللي قاعدة أشتغل عليه في مساحة هو يتمحور على هذا الموضوع، ويعتبر كمان تكملة للمشاريع اللي اشتغلت عليها من قبل. ومن الأشياء اللي قاعد تلهمني هي المنطقة اللي احنا فيها الآن في مساحة. فالمنطقة حوالينا في بنيان بيوت طين وفي بنيان كمان مباني حديثة، وكلها موجودة في منطقة واحدة. يعني هذه المنطقة بنفسها قاعد تلهمني بالأعمال وبطريقة تفكيري عن المواد اللي أقدر استخدمها. أنا عادة أفضل إني أترك المساحة للزوار هم يقررون إيش الأفكار أو الإحساس اللي يجيهم لما يشوفون العمل، ولكن من الأشياء اللي أبغى أترك انطباع عليها مع الزوار هو إنهم يتعمقون بفكرة التحول أكثر، خصوصاً كيف يربطونها لنفسهم.
When I was 4 years old, I have been not a very good sleeper. So basically, in my childhood, when I was going to the kindergarten, I was refusing to take naps, in the daytime naps. And so what happened is there was a solution, because across the kindergarten there was this art school and music school, and so instead of naps I would be going to taking classes, and I would come back with a little painting, which I thought was pretty cool. And so, yeah, and then it started right from there. I started my painting classes from 4 years old. And this is somehow became to be just my lifestyle. It's who I am. It's where I learned this very meditative activity when I'm making art. It's just part of what I do. It's been always there. So here in Masaha, I am developing a method with which I'm going to create 2 series of work. So like one series of work and another one is the participatory installation in the sand, in the desert landscape. So the method was inspired by merging 2 traditions. The Zen tradition of the dry Karisan-sui Japanese gardens. It's a movement meditation where you don't have any plants, but you have just stones and sand. And so with the racking tools, there's like this slow movement and like patterning the ground with wave-like patterns, but they're straight. The other method is inspired by the Sufi dervishes' whirling practices and recitation as well, and sound and listening sama. So why am I inspired by those eclectic traditions is because I am in general researching different methods and rituals of slowing down as an answer to the relentless, productively relentless world in which we're living at this right now moment, which is absolutely distracting, and it scatters our focus to the periphery. And what I want to do is kind of go back and find my own truth and go find my own focus and my own presence in connection with the nature as well.
When I think of that question, I immediately think of my childhood in school. What I was doing most of the time, I was doodling or drawing. So there's not really a specific moment, but I guess my conscious decision to be an artist, or to be an artist as a grown-up, maybe reflecting on my brother's work or my brother's kind of career, or like seeing him do art, and also I guess taking my own drawings or my own art and seeing how people reacted to it made me reflect on making more art. Kind of the concept of my project is kind of dealing with the visible and invisible, the conscious and unconscious, and how I can present that in an artwork, and how I can challenge my perception, my ideas, and plus the viewers on what's the final project, what it is and what it's not. So I mainly take inspiration from anatomy a lot, so I've been dealing now the past few weeks kind of a visual research with anatomy and how I can present that, but not directly, just kind of like a visual cue on what I can take from anatomy and the human figure and how I can present that in my work. I want the perception of the viewer to be like something challenging, and I want them to feel something that's they're reading kind of like a visual diary of my own thoughts, but at the same time I want them to feel something familiar to them and sometimes not familiar. So it's a feeling of contradiction, but it's also not so much as an idea just to be contradictive, but also I guess mainly something familiar, that they kind of see something familiar to them, and then they can impose their own meaning on it.
My project which I brought here, it's a personal story. It's mainly I was collecting during 2 years, even more, like a lot of sketch notes about my personal memories, about my memories with my mother, my relationship with my family, with my father, my mother's place in my life, and etc. And yeah, it was hard, this process, and then it was even harder to share it. But now I'm happy and I brought it here. I called it Man and Man. Man means in Azerbaijani I, and man is man.
And through growing up and having different classes, I discovered what I really want in my life, like especially like in university. I got inspired like 2 years ago when I worked in Al-Ula. There was an area called Daimuma, and it was so beautiful, the trees, the plants, until there's one part of Daimuma where the tree was burnt out. And I was surprised they kept the tree. So I asked my friend, why did you keep the tree? And she said, like, it's nice not to have everything perfect. And it's nice to people to come to see how cycle of life, and it's okay to not to be perfect. That's how I got inspired by the color of the tree, the brown, and then the shades of the black. So I took pictures of the tree, and I said one day I'm going to work on this project. And alhamdulillah, I came to the residency to work on this project, which is naming the project ما بين المشاعر والجسد, between the body and emotion.
For me, art begins where words stop working. And I do believe this question is also about how do you inscribe yourself into humanity's heritage. And I needed space to express things that couldn't quite be said. And art offers that time and space. At Masaha Residency, I'm working specifically with history as a living material, so personal and historical ones. And I see my pieces as part of a small cinema, layered story within a bigger story. And I'm working specifically with collapses, so I collect stories of collapses as a measure of time, but also as possibilities for repair, as I do believe that the past continues to speak in the present. I don't indulge into injection. I prefer to offer space where time unfolds and a space for reflection.
دايم أقول الفن هو اللي اختارني مو أنا اللي اخترته. وأكثر شيء فعلا يلهمني هو كيف يقدر الفن يتجاوز الشكل ويتحول لتجربة تحمل معنى أبعد مما يرى. هو مشروع صوتي معاصر يستحضر يوم بين 3 أجيال، ويوثق ذاكرة الرياض من خلال الصوت، ويحول الإرشيف لتجربة سمعية حية. خلال هالإقامة كان هذا صديقي كنت أستكشف فيه أصوات الرياض. أتمنى أن التجربة تخلي الناس يتفكرون للحظة، وكل شخص يلاقي تساؤله بطريقته، لأن أحياناً الصوت يقدر ينقل أشياء تعجز الصورة عن نقلها.